All right. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Investing Your. I'm your host, Coach Kenny, Coach Kenny, CEO of Kirunda Group Corporation. I want to thank you guys for joining me for another episode. We're here every Thursday to help people with knowledge in terms of entrepreneurship, business, credit, personal development. We're here to just help. That's pretty much it. I always want to say thank you guys for on Facebook, the likes and subscriptions. On YouTube, we love the thumbs up. We love all those kind of guys. And if you have questions or comments, please leave them wherever you're listening to this, whether that's on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or iTunes, or wherever you listen to this on a podcast. Please give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us some kind of support so we know you're out there. And also, like I said, if you have ideas for shows, or if you have ideas for guests that you'd love to have on the show, please reach out to them or let them reach out to us. .com, or you can also find us every Wednesday. I'm having a Zoom call. It's really growing in popularity. It's really about how to start a business. And the link will also be wherever you listen to this, so that way you can get access to that. It's every Wednesday, 10 a.m. It's about 45 minutes. We go hard, just kind of focus on strictly businesses and how to start a business. And then we, if you have questions on also that, you can ask the questions there also. And also, if you have ideas for businesses that you want to start, or you have, you're struggling with yourself with your business, I can come there and help you guys every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Zoom call it's always live, and that'll help people. So, and I hope you guys are staying safe out there. One thing is I want to make sure you guys are out there. So staying safe, wash your hands, take care of your body, keep your distance, and we'll go through this. We'll run through this. So wealth creation. So first, I want to really discuss what is wealth. What is considered wealth, or what is considered wealthy? Now, everyone has their own kind of subjective mind towards this. For people, some people, wealth is, a couple $100,000 in the bank, you're wealthy. Some people think a couple $1,000,000 in the bank, you're wealthy. Some people think, a couple $100 million, then you're wealthy. For me, I really don't relate it to figures in terms of bank account. I look at wealth as how long can you live, or how long can your family survive without ever having to work again? So if you're looking at your own wealth right now, that's either your savings, your assets that are bringing in money, or your current whatever you have in terms of how you have cash or assets. What's the time period that you can last without you having to work again and not struggle? That's when I consider wealth. Definition. So true wealth is really how long can you last without having to work again? And for me, I believe true wealth is really generational wealth, where you set yourself up for life. So that's true wealth to me. That's true wealth, and that's the kind of wealth I'm trying to set up. But and it also should be the same wealth you should be really setting up for yourself, because if you really think about it, you're selfish if you don't think about the future generations in terms of the work that you can get in, the opportunity that you have. You have to think about that. So that really pushes me, and that's what should really push you also, is learning that and understanding that your efforts right now could affect future generations. So that's why today's episode is really about wealth creation and how do you create wealth, true wealth. How do you do it? So you have to understand a couple of things. First of all, when it comes to creating real wealth, certain things have to be done. Certain things have to be in order. And the simple thing is you have to compare creating wealth to creating muscle, creating, going to the gym. It's the same concept. You have to have in your brain for this. Same thing with any kind of skill, like creating wealth as a skill. You have to think of it as going to the gym. Now, if you are a person who does not go to the gym at all, meaning you don't take care of your wealth, you don't even think about it, you don't work on it, you are going to be the person who's on the couch all day broke and hurting and disease and all those things. Now, if you are the person who goes to the gym religiously every single day, every other day, or every, at least 3 times a week, or ideally every day, you will be a different person than the person who sits on the couch all day and is waiting. So understand that wealth creation is the same as gym. Think of it as the same thing as going to the gym. If I go to the gym every single day, I'm going to look different from the person who does not go to the gym. It's that simple. If I focus and I put time towards wealth creation, my money and my situation is going to be different from the person who does not take any time at all to think about wealth creation. So that's what you have to understand is certain actions have to be done. So now, when you're thinking about wealth creation, you have to think about 2 things. And these are the only 2 things you have to think about. And these are your actions. Your actions. Your actions, in order to create true wealth, your actions have to be specific. And how specific? This is how specific they have to be. There's only 2 things you can do when you're doing an action. It's either a low return on investment action or a high return on investment action. Let me repeat that. Like I said, these are things that separate people from true wealth creation to people who leave this world with debt. It's your actions, and your actions are either 2 things: either low return on investment actions or high return on investment actions. Those are the things that separate the people. It's that simple. So if I know for my business I should be recording a podcast every Thursday, which I do, and I don't do it, that means I'm taking the decision of choosing low return on action. I'm choosing that. But if I do decide to do a Thursday podcast every day for a long period of time, it helps my business, it helps my brand, helps these things that can really improve and boost my business, that is a high return on action. So you have to understand the difference. If you really want to create true wealth and create true, massive amounts of wealth, you have to think that way. You have to think, my actions are they bringing back low interest or high interest in terms of my goal of trying to create wealth? If I go to the gym and I just lift 2 pounds every single time, that's a low return on action. If I go there and I push myself every single day, that's a high return of action. My body will change. My body will become uncomfortable by lifting heavier weights, by reading a little bit more, by taking on a challenge of starting a business, by, it's the same correlation. You have to think about the same way. If I want to create true wealth, I have to take time. I have to take time of the actions that I have and thinking, are they high or are they low action to creating wealth? So if I'm trying to create true wealth, my actions have to be always high, always. There's no negating. You can't pass it because, like I said, there's only 2 ways: either doing it low return on your action in terms of interest, or a high return on your actions in terms of interest. So now, once you differentiate those 2, now you can focus on every single action that you take on a daily basis has to be high. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug into my calendar or into my organizer or into my list or whatever I'm trying to focus on that I look at every day. All my actions have to make sure that they return a high return on action for myself and for my business and for my brand or for my whatever I'm trying to create. So most people, they're low actions because they're going to a job. They're working 9 to 5, so they're working for somebody else. That means their time is always being sold to somebody else. So if you're trying to change that, you have to think about, okay, where time is spent to get the highest return? Where's my time where I'm making a lot more than I am currently? Now, let me give you an example. My highest return on action right now that I have is recruiting and hiring the right people. So recruiting, I get somebody into the team and I get them a job, or I have a specific task that they do, and I get to make sure I get the right person at the right pay. That's my challenge right now. So right now, if I'm not looking for people in my team that can help me, with my business and then produce, more products and all these other things and help me with my units, if I don't take my time and I focus on that action, I'm losing money. My interest is low. Like I'm not getting a nice return on my time. That's why every single day, every single time I'm focusing on a high returning of action in terms of whatever I'm doing, because it has to be something that creates wealth for me. If it does not create wealth for me, then it's a low returning action. So same with yourself. You have to choose between the two. Now, if you have a 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with staying there and thinking on the side of what actions, when I get out of the 9 to 5, am I going to take that are high for myself or for my business or for my brand or for my whatever, insert whatever. So most people, they take their time and think, okay, I want that, that car, I want this, I want that. But they don't take the time to think about, are my actions high enough so I can get that car? Am I doing enough work in terms of, side business to get that car? No, what they focus on is the end result. The end result does not get you there. What gets you there is the actions that you take on a daily basis. So if you're thinking, okay, I should be listening to that Zoom call that Coach Kenny puts on every Wednesday at 10 a.m., but instead I'm watching Netflix or I'm doing something else, then that means that you're choosing low return of your actions. You're choosing it. But if you do, let's say, get on that Zoom call and pick up one idea, it might not even be from me, it might be from one of my students or one of the people that come on the Zoom call, and you pick up something that can help you, 3 or 4x your income or your speed on whatever you want to do, then that's a high return of your action. And just all it takes is one. So understand that. So for every single action I take, I'm a voracious note taker. I take lots of notes. The reason I do this is because I'm tracking. This is another tip for my people out there that are trying to figure out how to create your wealth. Track your actions. The reason I have lists is because I'm doing these actions to make sure that they're high. I don't just wing it. I'm not that smart. I'm not. And for you guys who really think of geniuses, your brain is not made to hold things. It's made to be creative. So if you're trying to hold a lot of things in your brain, most likely you're gonna miss a lot. It's that simple. But if you have a list, a well thought out list in terms of your actions and how high they could take you and what they could lead to something else for tomorrow, then you have a great chance for success and create massive wealth for yourself. It's the same thing as going to the gym. If I go to the gym and just half-ass it and don't, wing it, I'm not gonna get results. But if I go there with a program, I have a note or a phone or a list of workouts where I look up a workout on, Muscle Magazine, Muscle and Fitness, Men's Health, whatever, Women's Health, and I follow that program for 6 weeks, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see a big difference than just winging it, going to the gym for 6 weeks. It's the same thing with yourself. If you wanna really take yourself serious in terms of creating true wealth, you have to actually take. I'm going to put together a plan of high returning actions for myself, for my business, for my family, whatever. And I'm going to follow these religiously. These things will return something major for yourself. So understand that there's two differences. If your actions are low in terms of your interest, they're coming back, or they're high. And the more, high returning interest on your actions are, the more you can compound your success or your creation or your workout or whatever, because it's once you start towards that road, you never want to go back to low actions that don't bring you back high enough interest, because it actually bore you, it actually piss you off, because you're wasting your time. So understand that. So most people are struggling to create true wealth. They don't break it down this simple. I wanted to really break it down today so you guys can understand how my mindset kind of goes and how you can guys use it to help yourself and hopefully improve your situation. Guys, like I said, if you have questions, if you have comments, please leave them wherever you listen to this. If you have like I said, a guest idea also, please send them to us or send us a link, and we'd love to contact with them. Guys, I hope you're staying safe. Otherwise, I'll see you at the top.